Dear participants, today we have one of the well-known technologists, Dr. B. Mahalingam, and it is certainly a countless pleasure to introduce Dr. Mahalingam. Dr. Mahalingam is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Geography at Central University, Karnataka. He has teaching experience of almost 15 years and he has expertise in the area of geospatial technology. He worked in various reputed institutions in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Considering his expertise in the area of geospatial technology, he has been felicitated with Young Technologist Award by Union Geographic Information and Technologists, Bangalore University. He is a Board of Studies member of various reputed institutions like Mysore University, ASP Autonomous College, and other universities also. He has contributed a lot for the development of geography and for the applications of geospatial technology. He has conducted 21 days training programs in the area of geospatial technology in the capacity of coordinator, and he has also trained the engineering faculty members concerning the applications of remote sensing and GIS. Till today, he has published more than 35 research papers in various reputed journals at the international and national level. He is a principal investigator of research project titled Base Map Preparation of Aland Local Planning Area using drone, funded by Municipal Planning Authority of Aland, Kalburgi, Karnataka, and evaluation of emergency service system in Kalburgi city using geographical information systems funded by Central University of Karnataka. Beyond this, he has been working as a nodal officer of Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat program, university nodal officer for disaster management activity under MOU between Central University of Karnataka and MHRD and UGC. He is also a MOOC coordinator at Department of Geography, Central University, Karnataka, and school nodal officer for Moodle learning management systems at Central University, Karnataka. He has very much expertise in the area of QGIS, image analysis, remote sensing data analysis, local area planning, drone mapping, and number of expertise areas of expertise are there, and uh, he is one of my close friends, and I observed that he is very much committed and honest towards his duties. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I hope all you can hear me properly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yes. I would like to share my screen now. Hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Sahil. Right. In today's class or in today's presentation, I am going to speak about methods and sources of geographical data collection. Right. So it's not going to be a lecture and I am not going to teach anything to you. Today, like almost 45 minutes or 1 hour, I'm going to share the experience in my life, how I have collected the data for so long, right? So as a geographer, it is necessary to collect the data to do any work or any analysis. So as I'm being in the field almost last 20 years, I have used different portals or I have collected the information from various sectors. So that I'm going to demonstrate or I'm going to show you how I have collected the data or from where I have collected the data. So if it is helpful to you, that would be really good. Or if you want to know something more than what I'm going to talk, So end of the class or in the middle of the class, you can stop me and you can raise your question. If I know it, I can solve your doubts or I can help you to get the data from the place where it is available. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. As I'm teaching geography or I was a student of geography, it is much necessary for us to get the data to do any work, right? Without the data, we cannot do any research or we cannot do any analysis. So there are different ways to collect the data. So when I was doing BSc or my master's, even the time of my PhD, it was very difficult to collect the data, right? So for example, when I was in master's, to collect the census data, I have to go to the regional census institute where I have to sit in their library and I have to look at the books, the census book, and I have to write it on my notebook, or they may take my ID card, college ID card, and they will provide their the census book. I will go outside and scan the book and I will take the photocopy of it. So it was so difficult during those days to get the data. But nowadays it is not like that. Most of the institute and they made their data in digital format and it is available in online. So nowadays getting the data is very easy than what it was, right? So today we are going to discuss or I'm going to demonstrate how to collect the data from the portals. Then it is very easy for you, like some of the data you can download without your information, like anonymously you can get the information. Some information you have to provide your information. For example, if you want to get the satellite data from our government of India, they may ask you what is your name, what is your mail ID, or some other information of your personal information. So even if you want to download the topographical sheet of India, sometime like it is necessary to provide the Aadhaar card number. Like we may have the 10-digit number of INIQ ID, right, for each one. So this number is necessary to get the data, right? So there are different portals are available and these data are available in different modes. Some are free cost and some are we have to pay. Some data we can get without any providing personal information. For some data we have to provide till our Aadhaar card number. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So how I can know where I can get the data? The easiest way what I do, the Google it. So just I will go to Google, then I will type geography data portal or free geography data download. See, GIS is the integral part of geography. So the data which is available in GIS will be used in geography, right? So if you download the data from GIS, that is our geography data. So you can click on any of these available portal and directly you can download it. For the sake, I am clicking this second link, or I can go with the first link. See here, physical geography related data are available in this portal. So it is available in natural. Can you see the screen clearly, or shall I zoom in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Screen is very much visible.
Right.
Yeah.
See here, I didn't do anything. Just I have typed in the Google search saying that free geographical data download, and the first link comes with the freegis.rtwilson.com. So when I go inside of it, here I can see the data related to the physical geography, which is in general, and this is the portal in which the data is available. What is available here? Here it is available in the form of vector, because in GIS we say there are two formats of the data is available, and the features on the Earth surface or the geographical information on the Earth surface can be stored or can be represented in two digital forms. One is raster, another one is vector. So this natural Earth provides the data in vector as well as in the raster file format. In vector, it is providing in coastline, land, oceans, islands, rivers, lakes, and glaciated areas and bathymetry information. And in raster, it provides various raster images intended for use of backgrounds for other data. For example, hypsometric tin, satellite derived land cover data or shader leaves, these are all available. right? So when I scroll down, I can see there are hundreds of portals are available which provides the data for us. You do not want to go anywhere, just you should open your computer, and this computer should be connected with the internet, or even if you use your mobile phone with the internet, this data can be downloaded. Is this clear? They provide for physical geography general, then they provide for land and ocean boundaries, and they provide for elevation, right? See, it starts from GTEM, global TEM, SRTM data, and they provide this eTopo 1, and they provide NASA DEM, and they are also providing ALAS global digital surface model in this portal, right? Then they are also having open topography and Arctic DEM. So these informations are all have gathered and has shown as a catalog in this free GIS data rdwilson.com. So for example, if I need the SRTM data, then I can click on this link. It will go to that specific link, the website. Right. So from here, I can download this settled radar topographical mission data. So which is one of the global elevation data which was observed in the year of 2000, and it is available in free of cost. Just you can download it and you can use it for your terrain analysis. That we will discuss much deeper in little detail. And this SRTM available in 90 meter spatial resolution, that we will download and see little later. Now we understood that this website provides the links to the portal from where we can download the data. See here, they are providing weather and climate data, and they are providing hydrological data, and there is snow and ice cover informations are there. Just a minute. Sorry, there was a call, that's why I muted. Okay, we will continue it. Right. So, Sardarji, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there is the data related to snow and ice cover. We can download it, and there are the data which is related to natural disaster. It is available, and there are the data which is related to land cover. See, I got hundreds of links just with a single click in Google, right? So it is not necessary you have to use Google. You can use Yahoo browser or any other browser, and the sources are available, and they are providing for ecology, and here mineral resources, oil and gas, like and they are also providing for human geography. All these informations are there. Like when you have the free time, you can go one by one and you can see it. Now we are going to discuss about, or I'm going to demonstrate some of the portal which very frequently I use to get the data, right? Right. Can you see the screen, my PPT now?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes. See, the first portal I'm going to discuss about Census of India. As I said, when I was doing my master's or PhD, I used to go to this regional census office. There I used to get the hard-bounded book, then I used to take the Xerox copy. But nowadays it is not necessary. A scholar or the student who needs the census data, they can go to their website from their home or using their mobile phone. Directly they can download the census information, right? So I copy these, or else I go to Google. Here just I type Census of India. So even if I do not know the exact website link for the Census of India, I don't want to worry it. When you type the exact name of the organization or the name of the data what you need, and Google will help you, or any browser will help you to get the exact link of it. So when I have typed the Census of India, here we can see the official link of Census of India is appear with the title of it. When I click on it, so here the official page is open, and here they have given lots of links here, right? So here I generally used to go and district census handbook. If you need the district census information, you can click on the district census handbook. So district wise information you can get it from here. And as like we are in the pandemic situation, this census of 2021 should be started earlier, but due to this COVID-19 pandemic, it has been postponed. Like in near future, they may start it, right? Still, we do not have the population of India for the year of 2021, but we have the population for 2001, even 1991, 2001, and 2011 in the digital format. It can be downloaded in the form of Excel sheet, and digitally we can use it for any analysis. So just I click on the district census handbook. It goes to the place for which you want to get the district population information. So here they have given the state name. Like for example, if you want to go for Goa, or else I can take someone from here. Namdev, sir, are you there? Namdev? Namdev. Suraj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sahil is there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suraj, are you there? Can I know which state you belongs to, please?
Yes,
Which
sir.
state you belongs to?
Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, right. So we will download this. Yeah. We will get the information of Maharashtra. Then I click on this Maharashtra here. So in Maharashtra, which district you belongs to?
Bid.
Suraj.
Okay, I will go for Ratnagiri, right? Just I
Ratnagiri.
click on Ratnagiri. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I belong to the Ratnagiri district.
Okay. See, the digital copy of Census of India 2011, right, is available here. So here you can get the entire census information, the map of your district, and the total number of population, and male population, female population, SC, ST, and even village level informations will be available here. So you do not want to go anywhere to get this information. You can get it in your computer if it has the internet, or the mobile phone with the internet, right? So it provides the population information as well as the amenities in your district, like village wise amenities you can take, whether if the village has post office, whether this village is having telephone communications, everything will be available in it. So like as it is available for 1991, 2001, 2011, so for your master degree or for your PhD degree, if you want to do any temporal analysis, you can get the data from Census of India, then you can use it. Right. So Census of India is one of the source to get the demography information. Right. Then after the Census of India, if I want to get any map, or if I want to understand any place, right, even if I have not visited or if I have not heard the place earlier, right, I use this Google Earth. So Google Earth helps me a lot to identify the places, or to know where it is, or what is the surrounding of the particular area, or to know how this place is changed over the time. So for example, now I will go to Google Earth. So for example, we will see, like we are going to do some kind of urban studies in Ratnagiri town. I go to Google Earth, right, Google Earth. So it is a portal, or we can say this is web-based geographical information system, right? So you may have here this ArcGIS and QGIS, and even in Sardar's department they have a global mapper, and these are all desktop based GIS software. And this Google Earth is the web-based GIS software in which the data are already stored and it is visible for the people, those who want to use it, right? The only thing is that we have to have the internet and the software has to be installed in your computer, right? See, for example, and here we see the globe of the world, right? So entire globe is visible here. So if I want to see the Ratnagiri, as these data are already stored in their database or in their server, so whenever you want to find any places, only the name is here. If you have typed the name with the correct spelling, we can find out that place. So just I say Ratnagiri. See, in the drop down we can see it gives the suggestion whether you want to find out the Ratnagiri in Maharashtra or you want to find out the Ratnagiri in Odisha or Ratnagiri railway station, Ratnagiri station. There are lots of options are there. Among that I select Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. Then I say search. Now the place of Ratnagiri will be zoomed or maximized on our screen and we can see the place very clearly. Guys, do you see the Ratnagiri clearly on your screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now we can see this Ratnagiri very clearly here and we say these are all called as a annotation. Annotation means the labels or the information of the places. So in other way we say it is non-spatial data, right? So these are all the names, the name of the place. Here they say this is the Deepa Point, they say Rajuvada, and here say Gajai Mangroves, and which are all considered as a label or annotation, right? So in data, it is very easy, like whenever you want to have this and you can keep it on the screen, or we can, if you don't want, we can remove it. So one of the great advantage I get from this Google Earth is the changes what has happened over the time in the landmass, right? So this Google Earth, they have started in 1998 or 2000, exactly I cannot remember the year, but the time when they have started, from that they are keep on updating the satellite imageries, right? As well as they have purchased the satellite imagery from the year of 1972 and they have stored it in their server. For example, if you want to know how this Ratnagiri was looking in the year of 1980, we can check it here. Or if you want to know how the Ratnagiri was in last year, that we can check it here. So here we can see, I think it's an airport. Guys, is there airport in Ratnagiri?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Here we can see the runway.
Yes, sir.
Right. Can anyone tell me when this runway was established or built in Ratnagiri? Any idea? Exactly at which year it was built there?
Cannot remember, but it
No,
may be
sir.
after 2010. You please show 2005 image. I think it may not be visible at that time.
Okay, we will see. So the thing is that it is the data, right? It is the data which is already stored by this Google server, Google in their server, and using this data we are going to get the information. What is the information? Information is the date of establishment, right? The data is the satellite imagery, right? From that data we are retrieving or we are extracting the information, that is when this runway was established. So as I said, these Google Earth people, they have the satellite imagery from 1972, and here we can see that. See here in view, there is an option called historical imagery. So this historical imagery will show you the satellite imagery in different time period, right? So here it is showing in the month of 10th and 2021. Still, now I go back. Guys, do you see what I'm doing here? See here. Guys, do you see what I'm doing here? I'm going back in time to see the satellite imageries. Guys, do you see?
So you're going back, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
See, now this satellite imagery
Yes,
is
sir.
belongs to the
Year
year
wise
of
you are going back.
2040. Yes. So the satellite imagery, what we see here, it is 2014 year. Now we can see the runway is there, right? But there is no painting, right? So it confirms that this data confirms that there was a runway in 2014. Still I keep on moving in 2009. See, in 2009 also the runway was there. Then still I move 2006. In 2006 also the runway was there. Then I move. It is the lowest 1985. I think the runway was there from the 1985. It was built at even before 1985. There was there. See, here we can see the stretch. In 1985 it was there. See, in 2005 also it is there. So now from this the information is the runway was established in Ratnagiri even before 1985. Right? So now we will see, is there any other improvement or any other changes in the city? Right? So here we see, now it is 2005. Now we are in 2021. Can you see the changes here?
Yes, sir.
Now we are in 2021. Or else I will go somewhere else where we can see exactly the changes. I will look at here. It is 2005. It was. It is there. Right. You see this building. You just see this building. So this building was looking like this in 2005. Right. In 2019, you just see the building. The structure has changed, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the same way, when you want to do anything for urban development or urban sprawl or suburb extension, so in that case, this Google map will help you. So the information which is available in this Google Earth itself will more sufficient for me to identify it, right? So like still we can see the changes in the river course. Say in 2021 we see, or else we will go here in Himalaya, easily we can identify these Himalayan rivers. Which is the river, it changes its course very often. Can anyone remember and tell me?
Gagra is there, and
see here we see the river course, right? So it is a river course in the year of 2010, and we can see the meander here, and we will move on here till the meander is there. Yes. See here, this area was agriculture land in the year of 2000, and 2019 you see this agriculture land was washed out by the river. Guys, do you understand what I mean here?
Yes, sir.
See, in 2021 here you can see the sand dunes or the island which was created by this river, right? So when I go back
Depositional.
depositional process. So when I go on 2009, like even if I go to 2020, here I can say it was the agriculture land or the forest land, something else than the river erosional form, right? So this Google Earth will help you a lot to understand what has happened on the Earth over the time, right? If you want to find out any geomorphological feature on anywhere in the world, and this Google Earth is the highest or highly recommended source. So you can see here, see, can you find out the difference from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here, right? So here we can see this. Can you see the different patterns for here and here?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's Rajasthan.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, it's a desert. So when you have a map and when you when you look at it in the small scale, the geomorphological features can be easily identified. So to find out the geomorphological feature, you can use the Google Earth and you can get it from this, right? So, right. So, for example, if I want to find out the elevation, right, we will do for the Ratnagiri somewhere. So, okay. So, is this Eastern Ghat or Western Ghats here?
Western Ghat,
Sir,
Western Ghat,
Western
It's
Ghats.
a Western Ghat.
Western,
Right.
Western Ghat.
Right.
But
So-
you are along the coastal side. Western
Yes.
Ghat is around at 50 kilometers from Ratnagiri.
Right. Right.
For
That is
that
one
you-
good. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah, you can go to Amba, AMBA. There, it is at
No,
the
sir.
top
Okay,
of Western Ghat.
I will go to Amba, and now Sardar sir said that this Western Ghat is at least 50 kilometer from the west coast, right? So here we have the tool. See the ruler. Using this, I can measure the distance. So I can measure the distance in different units. See, from the coast, I measure. See exactly what he said was right. See here it is 50 kilometers. Right. So in 50 kilometer, we have the Ghats here. Right. The ruler will help you to find out the distance from one place to another place, and we have the polygon using which we can measure the area, and lots of options are there. Right. So I want to go to Amba in Ratnagiri. No, sir.
Amba, AMBA type. It is at the border of Amba and Kolhapur. Amba Kola. Or you may type
goes.
only Amba Pass. Yeah, it is.
Right, it is.
Amba Ghat is there. Amba
Yes,
Ghat.
yes.
Yeah.
This is. See here, now we have the imagery, but we cannot see the three-dimensional of this Western Ghat clearly, right? But these Google people already, they have uploaded the elevation information in the satellite imagery, and it is available in three-dimensional information. For that, they have used the elevation data called SRTM, which stands for Subtle Radar Topographical Mission, right? So here they have given the terrain option here in the layers. When I click on this terrain option, right? So here we can see this elevation. So if the elevation, if you cannot see it very clearly, they have, like, there are hundreds of options in this portal. So for your information, the thing whatever I use in it, I am explaining you, right? Because I cannot explain everything in it. But when you are having the free time, you can go and search it with the knowledge whatever I provide now, right? So now I want to see the three-dimensional information. In the option, they are providing the elevation information, how much exaggeration you want to do it. Just I say I want to make it for 3. Guys, can you see the elevation of the topography here?
Very clearly, very clearly.
Right? Right. So if you want to see it very clearly, like I will move this. See, can you see it? And this will help you much when you do this watershed management or slope analysis or landslide analysis. So this will help you a lot. So you can look at here and you can compare with your result. See, can you see the value and other things here? See, for this I have not gone anywhere and I didn't speak with anyone, just I am sitting in front of my computer with the internet, and this much of information of area or the geographical information I am getting. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I want to know the relief of this feature, like we do in our practical, what we do, cross section we do, right? Or profile we do, right? This composite profile, single profile, can you remember it?
Composite,
anyone-
projected,
Projected we do,
project, superimposed,
superimposed, right?
Simple.
So if you,
and
that's-
longitudinal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So these are all the higher elevation value we used to take from the topographical sheet using the help of the paper. Like we fold the paper and we get the elevation from the contours on your topographical sheet. Then we draw the graph on the graph sheet, right? So those things are not necessary nowadays. Now you can create the line on the Google Earth as it has already the information of it. So here we can project the profile. See, I have created one line. Just I say show elevation profile. So here you can see, here what it says, see it is 11 meter, or else I will come from the coast. I delete this. I start from coast. And I come here. I say so elevation. Can you see what is the height of starting point? See, whenever I keep my cursor here, the red mark here also moves on the line, which indicates the respective elevation on it. See what it the started elevation is -2 meter. That means see it is correct because we are starting from the coast, right? So when I move on inward on the land, we can see the elevation is getting increases. See in this, what is the elevation? It is 127 meter. And the kilometer also you can see it is 20.2 kilometer, right? So still I move it. Guys, can you see the elevation difference?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you want to find out the elevation difference of the places, or if you want to get the profile of it, then Google Earth itself enough to get the data. All right. So if any of you have any doubt in Google Earth, if you want to ask anything, then I can add some more in it. So there are lots of options are there. Yeah. Is there anyone want to ask anything?
Sir, I have one question.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, how to download these images?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Thank you so much. Because I actually like the questions from the people, so I will explain very clearly, or I may, if I do not know your answer for your question, I will read and I will improve my knowledge. That's what. Like I know the answer for your question generally. When I want to download the images of this Google Earth, for example, I want to download the image of Sardar sir. Can you tell me your college name?
ASP College Devruk.
ASP?
ASP College Devruk. Or you just type Department of Geography, automatically it will come.
Okay, okay, I do that.
It is added to Google locations.
Is this your college, sir? I think it's your college ground, right? ASP College Playground. Sardar sir.
Yes, please.
Right. So this is the satellite image of Google Earth, and this image was captured in the year of 2021. And the sensor what they have used are the people those who sold this image to Google Earth is Maxar Technology. Right. That the information is in the middle of the screen. Like whenever you open it, you can see it. Right. So when you want to save this, so just go to File, go to Save Image, right? So if you feel that the label or the annotation which is on this Google image or the satellite image may hide some of the information on the Earth's surface, always we have the option to hide it, right? So if you do not want this label ASP College Ground, which I have used to search it, I can close it here, then it will be hidden. And even if you do not want this information, that we can remove it, then we will see that. I go to File, Save Image. So the time when I have given the same image, a new toolbar here it is appears, right? In which I can say you just remove the title and description, you remove the legend, you remove the scale, you remove the compass. And as well as the second option is the resolution of your image. For example, this one provides the resolution with 1570 and 944 pixels. Like that, there are different pixel sizes are there. and maximum is 4800 into 2886 pixels, right? So you can choose based on the necessary of the data that you are going to use. So generally, when you increase this pixel size from the H2 to Ultra HD or 4K, the file size will be higher. For example, if you have this 1024 into 768, if the file size is 20 KB, for this maximum it may be 1 MB or 2 MB, right? So we will go with the maximum right now. Then I say save. I am saving this on the desktop. See here, the file is saving in the format of JPG. Then I say it is ASP College. It is saving now. Has someone typed anything here in the meeting? Right, it is saving now. See, it is saved. So the file is stored on my desktop in the name of ASP College. Right. So this is a file which I have stored. The satellite imagery was captured in the year of 2021. So if I need the same place for 1980 or in the past, I can go to historical image. See, we will go to 2005. See, there is no ground. There is no ground in ASP College, and even the very lesser area is covered by building. The same thing we can save it here. I say ASP College old. Right. See, we will bring these two here. Right. I will bring both the images here. This is old one. This is the new. Okay. Can you see the differences here? See the building, there is no ground, and here is the ground. Like if you want to do the temporal analysis, Google Earth itself enough for the primary study or the basic study to use it. Sir, am I cleared your doubt?
Yes, sir. I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Is it a georeference image or just JPG image?
Yes, yeah, it's a JPG image, but there are some ways using which you can download the georeferenced image. Generally, I use the software called, I was hearing some sound. Okay. So generally the software called, because it's not by computer, because I use, if I have my computer that is in, where I have installed, just a minute, map. I think Sardar sir, we use one software, right? I think I may have shared with you.
Yes, sir. I have its video also.
Universal Map Downloader, sorry.
Yeah, Universal Map Downloader.
Universal Map Downloader. So this is the software, right? It's a paid software, and you can also get the free version of it. And this software will help you to download the satellite imagery from any portal, from Google Map, OpenStreetMap, Yandex Map, Yahoo Maps. From this portal, you can download it as a small patches, and it will be mosaiced by this software itself. Then you will get the greater image like this with the georeferencing. So this is one of the good softwares, sir. You can try it. Even you can download and use this trial version. It's really amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, this you can use it. I am using this for like almost 10 years. I feel really good. But the only thing is that there are some criteria you have to see the zooming level here. The zooming level is there, no, that you have to see, because when you zoom the beyond certain limit, it may not work or the image will not be stored. So there are some limitations are there. So that is our pretty practical difficulty what we face. So generally when you use the Google Maps and you cannot go beyond certain zooming level. So that's why when I need the higher satellite imageries, I do not use the Google Maps. I use Bing Maps, this one, Bing Maps. So this will be good. You try it, sir. You try it, you will get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Is there
thank
anything
you.
else is there anything else you want to ask? Right. Right. If there is no more question in related to Google Earth, then I will move on to my next slide.
So,
Yeah.
Siley here. Sir, in Google
Yes.
Map, we only get the raster image, right?
Yes. No, the thing is that
Okay.
like we can also create the vector data. All right. We also use the Google image, like when you want to create the road network, for example, because the satellite imagery is also cost effective. When you want to buy the high resolution satellite imagery, we may have to use labs together, which is not possible when you are a MSc student or a research scholar, right? So when you want to create the road network using the satellite imagery, we are not able to buy the satellite imagery. In that case, what you can do, so this Google Earth can be used, right? So here we have the high resolution imageries. So if you want to find out the buildings, how many number of buildings are in this particular area. So for example, I will take here this stretch, right? So in that case, we can create a vector data here. Like I'm going to use the polygon to create the building footprints here. See, the thing, whatever I'm going to create, it will be stored in a file here in the place. So I create one new folder called settle or buildings we will have, because we do not know whether it is a settlement where the people live or it's a commercial center. So I will say it is a buildings. So in this folder, I'm going to create this using this vector file. Right. So I name this S1, which is called to be B1, building 1. You can give any name as you like, B1. Then I'm creating the another one. It is going to be B2, right? In the same way, I will digitize all these buildings, right? It may take 1 day or 2 days or even a week or a month based on the area you want to digitize. And these two polygons, which is going to be a vector data, can be stored in your computer. Save these places. I'm saving these on the desktop. It is going to save in KMEZ or KML. So KML is the native file format of Google Earth, right? So which stands for keyhole markup language. So it's going to save in the name of buildings, and I'm going to save in KML, which is keyhole markup language, or KMEZ is nothing but the zip file of KML. So if the KML file is 2 KB and KMEZ will be 1 KB. So to reduce the file size, we use KMEZ. Otherwise, we can go with KML. So I'm going to save this on the desktop in the name of buildings. See here, we can see on the desktop, we can have a file or the data in the name of buildings. So this can be opened in any geographical information system, whether it's a desktop based computer or online based computer, anywhere we can use this, right? So I open this in Google, I will open this in the QGIS, which is the open source software, right? So I can open this here, like it is available in layer, add vector layer. Right, I add this here. In desktop, it is going to be buildings. Yes. Can you see these two buildings which I have digitized
Yes,
on
sir.
the Google? Yeah, on the Google Earth is brought into QGIS software. It's a vector data. In the same way, you can digitize the buildings, you can digitize trees, you can digitize the road network, or you can digitize the water bodies. So even for the time, as I said, temporal analysis, right? So we will take one water body here. Right. See, this is the water body. Like you can digitize with the polygon, right? You can say like this, you can digitize it, right? For the present year. Like this you can do, and you can go to the historical image and you can come here. Can you change the what? Can you see the changes in the water level?
Yes, sir.
Again, you can digitize, then you can identify the area. You can see in the year of 2021, this, see here, it is year of 2020. So in the year of 2020, we can see the amount of water this much. In 2019, not 2019, 17. Yes, in 2017, you can see the amount of water in this area is reduced, right? So you can create the polygon and the area measurement can be calculated. Then you can find out what is the reason for reduction in the amount of water in a dam. I think it's a dam here. Yes. You can create the vector data here that can be used. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Is there anything else you want to ask in related to Google Earth?
No, sir. My doubt is clear.
Right. So then what else I use? Right. Okay. I use the website called DivaGIS. So long I have been using it, almost 10 years I have been using it. So this website provides the vector data for any place on Earth's surface. For example, if you want to know how many taluks or how many villages are not at villages, only up to the taluk level they are providing, and how many states are there, or in other countries they say it is as a provinces, how many provinces are in Iran or in Iraq, or how many states are in Australia, that can be seen there. So we will go to this DivaGIS and we will see what is the data we can get it freely. See, for example, I will go to the Google. So here I say just DivaGIS. Now I don't type anything more than DivaGIS, just I type DivaGIS. We can see the first link which comes here is www.divagis.org. Right? I click on here. Here there are lots of options are there, like in which they have explained about their portal, their policies, and how they are developed this data, in which license they are providing this data, and who has developed the data, in which way we may get the benefit. Everything they are giving here, and documentation, everything is there. Here we can see free spatial data. As I have been using this so long, I know that this is the place from where I can download it. So straight I am explaining you, but when you want to go to this website to download the data, please give 10 to 15 minutes to know about this portal, right? Just I click on free spatial data. So it goes to the new page, and here there are other informations are there. In that there is an option called country level data. I click on the country level data, and here they ask, you want country level data, which country it is, whether you want islands or Albania, Algeria, American Samoa, which country in the world you want. So I will go to India. See, I select India. So okay, I will provide you data in India. In India, which data you want, what subject you are interested, whether you want administrative areas or inland waters or road network or railroads or elevation or land cover or population information, what you want. So now I am interested with administrative areas, then I say okay. So when I said okay, immediately we can see there is a link for download. Just I click on download. So the data is downloaded here, right? So the size of the data is 14.12 MB, and it says it will take 6 minutes to download it, right? So let it get download till that. I think it will download now. Okay, is this clear? Till now clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, right, right. So why we need this data? Like for example, if you want to know how many districts are in your state, or when you want to map it, right? So sometime you may want to show the distribution of population or population density, right? Or that you want to create this dot maps, right? I take this file which I have downloaded from the Diva GES. I cut this. I paste it on the desktop. Then I unzip it. Right. The files are here. Guys, do you understand what I do? Because if I go faster, you can let me know so I can make it slow. Am I going faster?
No, sir.
Okay. You are understanding whatever I am saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. So here they have given IND. IND stands for India and ADM stands for administration, and they are giving 0, 1, 2, 3. They have provided here, right? India admin 0, India admin 1, India admin 2, India admin 3, right? So the India admin 0 stands for country boundary, and India 1 stands for state boundary, and 2 stands for district, and 3 stands for taluk boundaries, right? So now we will open and see, and this, if you go and see this Diva GIS portal, and they are Americans, right? So US based portal, and when I open this data, right, let it be here. This is the buildings in Ratnagiri, let it be. So I am opening the data which I have downloaded from Diva GIS. As I said, this SHP. Right. Can you see the India here?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is the state nation boundary. Where is add? Okay, let it go. I will add all these. One, two, three. See here, what you see is the state boundary. Here what you see is the district boundary. Here what you see is the taluk boundary, right? Can you find out any mistakes in it?
Actually,
Jammu
it,
Kashmir.
yeah, it is according to LOC. It is not as per international boundary.
Yeah, the thing is that when these international people, when they write, no, this LOC, right? So they do not consider this POK into Indian, but when we develop the map in India, this will be considered like the part which is here on the top, right? So that we have to take it into consideration when we prepare the map, right? So this data, even though if it is free of cost, and this data will not be used for the official mapping. But the thing is that other than the Kashmir, rest of the places are okay. So if you want to map for your state, so for example, if it is, I want to map for Maharashtra taluk wise, then in the attribute table, these informations are available, right? So here I can see, like you may not understand what I'm doing with the data here, but it will be a kind of information for you. So how you can get the data. So just I say I filter it, and
Sir, are you putting one query?
query.
Yeah, query.
It is called as a attribute query. See, this is the taluks in Maharashtra, right? This can be saved as a new layer on desktop. Just I save this in folder. Maharashtra Taluk. Oh, okay. Sorry, really, because I have done a mistake in which I have not selected
Yes.
only the selected features. Where it is here, save only selected features. Now we do this. Maharashtra Taluk, I will see whether it is getting replaced or not. Yes, go right. Right. See here, now we have extracted Taluk boundaries of Maharashtra, right? So, so we don't want to ask anyone, or we do not want to require someone to get the data, but these informations are enough when you want to show some information in thematically, when you are not more concentrated on the area or the distance, right? So even the good, the boundary we have, right? And if you want to show the population variation taluk wise, this can be used, or if you want to show the taluk wise, this can be taken as a printout in a paper, like it can be used, right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then other than this, okay, I use OpenDem, right? So what is this OpenDem? OpenDem is a portal which provides the contours in the digital form. For example, if you want to find out the elevation of a place, right? So what we do, we take the topographical sheet. In the topographical sheet, we will see the contours, and we will see what is the height elevation information they have marked on the contours, or we will take the benchmarks, then we will see what is the elevation in the benchmarks, right? So these, after the 2000, right, there is a elevation information called SRTM, right, that we can collect from the internet for free of cost, that can be used, right? So I go to Google. It's not because I am used to be Google friendly user, so I use it. It is not necessary you have to use Google. Any portal, web browser, you can use it. So just I type OpenDem. So the first link is OpenDem info. What is it? It is coming so. Right. See here, and this is the OpenDem portal. Here they are providing the information in several ways. Among that, one is downloads, SRTM, and SRTM contours as safe, right? So SRTM stands for, as I said earlier, it is a settled radar topographical mission contour data as a safe file. So safe file, or SHP, stands for safe file, and safe file is the popular vector data in GIS or in geographical data. So when I click on it, and we get this page, and here we can see the screen. When I click on it, and the new window will appear here. So if I need the elevation information of Ratnagiri, I can zoom it and I can download for that particular place. So we can download for entire world, right? Yes, except this North Pole and South Pole, in where they have not taken this information. Right. So I go to Ratnagiri. Mumbai is here. Panaj here. Pune. Okay, Kolhapur is here. Rajpur. Sir, is your place comes here? Kanagawali? Ratnagiri is here. See,
Yes,
the
yes.
Ratnagiri, okay, the scene, they have given us a scene. Ratnagiri is there, Ratnagiri airport is here. Right. So to get these contours, what we have to do here, they have given the information. Please press shift on your keyboard, then draw a box to select the data. So now I'm clicking the shift on my keyboard. So here you can see the red boxes. What these red boxes represent? So it represents the scene or the size of the data what we will download, or the aerial extension of the contours. So I click the shift and I select only these blocks. In that case, I will get only one link to download the contours. So if I click more than one here, then I will get more links to download the contours in it. So I click only here. Then my computer says that there is a risk in it. Then I say I will continue with my own risk. Then here the link is available. and here the selected data set link is available. Then I click on it. Then it will start to download here. We will wait for some time. Or is it back? Okay, I will save this on the desktop. Okay, it is down. See, this is the file which I downloaded. I extracted here. It's in the name of N16E073. That we will open it in Google or no, QGIS. See, this portion controls I have downloaded. So if you want to know the elevation information, then we can use here this info tool or identity tool to know the IS. See, this elevation is 675 meters and this one is 700 meters. Or else you can go to the attribute tables right away to know the elevation information. So the beautiful thing is here, you can download the elevation information of entire world by sitting in front of your computer. Am I clear to you?
Siley?
Am I clear to you guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, OpenDem I use. Then I use this Alas Pulsar from where I can download elevation information. In OpenDem, they are providing SRTM satellite imageries contours, which is having the spatial resolution of 90 meters. So in some studies, we may need the higher spatial resolution elevation information. In that case, you can use the satellite imageries called Alas Pulsar, which provides the elevation information with a spatial resolution of 10 meters. Just I copy this, which is the link for that, and I paste the link. Which will go for this Alaska.education portal. So here we have the option to get the satellite imageries of like Sentinel-1 or Alas Pulsar or S1 INSAR or SWARM. There are RADARSAT, you can get it. So in this, you can select this Alas Pulsar, right? So then you can select the area of your interest, then you can download it. But the thing is that to download this Alas Pulsar, you should log in it, right? They may have some of your personal information, you just log in it and download it, right? So it is as same as a SRTM or but with a high spatial resolution. Then this is the portal from where you can download the topographical sheet, right? So this is the portal called, or the library of this Texas library. So if you go there, or just what I do, I go to Google, because you may not understand or you may not remember the name always. What I say, India, Pakistan topographical sheet. Just I type India and Pakistan topographical sheet, because when the British were here, this they were created this topographical sheet. Just I click here, it India and Pakistan AMS topographical maps, and it will provide you a new page on which you can see the boxes. So each box represents the topographical sheet of that particular area. So by seeing this geographical aerial extension, you can select the topographical sheet, or else you can click on the name given here to get it. So all these topographical sheets are stored in JPG file format, and which can be downloaded and which can be used for image registration in any GIS software, right? So we need for Ratnagiri. Where is Ratnagiri? I will zoom it. I'm not much sure of it. Just I click on it, we will see. Bombay.
Yes, it's yeah, it's part of some part of Ratnagiri district is there. Khed.
Okay. So now you can see we have the topographical sheet. Just right click on it and save this image. I save this on the I say Bombay topographical sheet. Right. It's going to save in JPG file format. It's on the desktop. And this map is stored in the scale of 1:250,000 rupees. See, sorry, 1 lakh. See, 1:250,000 scale. Sorry. Here we can see. The informations are there, right? And here we have the scale, which is 1:250,000, right? So it's a very small scale. The information which is available here might be minimum, but it's a free of cost. That is the one advantage. You can download and you can, if you want, you can use it, or you can use it for some reference, right? And here you can see it is prepared by Army Map Services. And which year they have developed this? They have developed in surveyed, right? 1943, like before independence, it was map, and these informations or these data are stored in Texas Library, and they are providing this for free of cost anyone who is having the internet in their computer to download it, right? So in the same way, you can download for entire India, and you can have a topographical map for entire country, and as well as we can also get for Pakistan and Bangladesh, right? So the next one is this one. This is from where you can get the rainfall data. So this is a portal which provides the rainfall data for anywhere on the Earth's surface, right? So I type this link here, which is called as a CHRS data. For example, you may want to find out the rainfall trend of a particular place, or you want to find out the flood management, or you want to find out landslide of a particular area. In that case, rainfall plays a major role in it, right? In that case, you do not want to go anywhere. You just go to the place for which you need the rainfall. Like we have the zoom or zoom button here. For example, if you want the rainfall data for Ratnagiri, Udupi, Mangalore, okay, come up, okay, Rajapur, Ratnagiri is here, right? Right. So for Ratnagiri, if you need rainfall, so here we have the option, and here this Persian is an abbreviation of this precipitation estimation from remotely sensed information using artificial neural network. Right. So this is the method what they have used to identify the amount of rainfall received by that place. So we will get whether we want daily data or 1 hour data or 3 hours data or monthly data or yearly data, anything you can get it here. So I say daily data for Ratnagiri, right? Then it's going to be not a whole world, it's a location based. Whether you want country based or political division or major river or location, Ratnagiri is the location, I say location based. So once I have selected the location, it says please select the point on the map. So I click on it. Now you can see one small arrow is there that can be moved, right? That it is there, right? So here, from which day to which day do you want? I say I need 2021 October 1st to October 2021 12. Okay, 11th. Okay, till day for yesterday I want how much rainfall in this month, and it is going to be saved in CSV file, which stands for comma separated value, and this will be downloaded in the form of tar zip file, tar file or zip file. These are all file compressed technique which is used here. Then I say download. So they ask what is your mail ID for their database. Generally, I give my mail ID when I want to download it. Then I say download. See, the data is available. When I click on it, a zip file is downloaded. I go to the folder. I delete it. Sorry, I cut this. I bring it on the desktop. Then I extract it. See, this extracted Persian file is here, and it is here. See here, it is Microsoft Excel comma separated value file. When I open it, this is the first month, 2021 month. Here you can see the year, month, and date here with the this Persian 1D information. This is the rainfall which is received by that particular place in each day, right? So they are also providing the latitude and longitude of the place which you have clicked on the map, right? So in the same way, you can select anywhere on the image. Like for example, like you can first take for Ratnagiri, then you can take for this Kanjakamba, then you can take for Nanji, then you can take for this Lancha, and you can take for this Bawas, and you can take for this Asaljar. Any places on the map you can take, and you can get the rainfall data of that place. Then using this data, you can do the step. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt in it?
No, sir.
Is it free download login for NASA site? Or NASA, like they may, you have to give your personal information in it. Personal information, your mail ID they will ask. Right. Is this free or paid? Universal Map. So Universal Map downloader is the paid version, but there are some free versions also available. You just search in the Google, you can download it, or you just watch the YouTube videos. There are some videos which provides these softwares in it. The links will be available in the description of these videos. You can download and use it for free of cost. No, don't worry.
Sir, that topo sheet thing, वो year वही रहता है क्या? मतलब you said it's like from 1943.
Yes, yes.
The topo sheet.
You need the recent one, right?
Sorry.
You may need the recent topographical sheet, right?
Yes, 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 sir, yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, you are right. You are right. Right. So we will see that. Because the data which was which is available in this Texas library is taken or surveyed by the British people, those who were here during those days, and these informations are stored in this Texas library. And after that, our guys, our Indians, they have started to prepare the topographical sheet, and that is available now in Survey of India website. Right. I will come back to here later, because as you have asked, this is the portal which provides different scales or different type of the data of the topographical information, right? So I go to Survey of India here. This is the website of Survey of India. Right. So here they are having the products. So they say open series map, free PDF, right? It's a free of cost. This is the catalog for open series map, and you can click on it, you can get the catalog. Then you can also get the village boundary data in vector file format, or you can get the digital geographical map, or you can get the geo-referenced color raster, or you can get the digital terrain model, administrative boundaries, digital vector database, topographical map. Everything is available in this portal. Some of them are free, most of them are cost, you have to pay. So for example, when I click on this geo-referenced color raster, it goes to the new portal. Here they say that, see, geo-referenced color raster for which they are costing of 1,000 rupees per image, right? So when you click on to buy, you will get 1,000 rupees kind of a link through which you have to pay. You can pay in online, or you can using your Google Pay or Phone Pay, you can pay it. Just a minute, I will. Right, that you can pay it here, right? But if you need the free topographical sheet, here we have the option, right? Open series map, free PDF, right? See here, they say product code VO OVSF 50K, that means 50,000 scale, right? So this is the latest image which has prepared by the Survey of India, and they are providing in PDF format, and the scale is what is to 50,000. When you click on to buy, see the price is 0. It's a free. You can click on to buy. There you have to write these codes. Once you have write this information, then you can start to download it. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, you can download the latest image from Survey of India with the large scale of 1:50,000. Right. Then I use this Bucos portal, which is the sub portal of Indian Geological Society, from where you can download the geology, like geomorphology and other information of it. Just I will go to the portal and I will show you. So this is the portal called Bucos. So it is available inside of the Geological Survey of India. Just I will go to Geological Survey of India. So here, if you go, there will be a link for this Bucos. You can click on it. It will go to this Bucos information. Right. See, you should create the login. It's a free of cost. You have to give your some of your personal information to create the your user. Then you can download the data from here. You can download the geology of your place. You can download the geology of your place in 2 million scale or 50,000 scale, geochemistry, ground geophysics, and meteoroid information, LSM information, landslide inventory, and seismotechnic information are available. So you just try this, you will get more information. Even soil data are there, and the boundary of administrative is there. I suggest my students to use it, and they download and they use for the practical. Like when you do not have the information near to that, this will highly help you to download, highly help you when you download and use it for your studies. Right, then I use OpenStreetMap, and this is one of the non-profit organization which provides the data for us. Like if you need any road network, right, of the area, or you feel that, like I have already told you, like you can create the road network using Google Earth as a KML file, then it can be used in the QGIS or ArcGIS. And if you feel that it is not possible to digitize all the road network on the Google Earth or on the satellite imagery, then you can download directly from the OpenStreetMap. So the thing is that these informations are uploaded by several people in the several time period. So the accuracy of the data quality is not in the acceptable level. So once you get the data, that you have to look at the data, you have to correct it, you have to modify it, and you have to develop the quality of the data. Otherwise, if you are not considered about the quality, only you are going to show the road network for the visual purpose or the buildings in for the visual purpose, straight away you can download and you can use it from the OpenStreetMap. And this is one of the portal which I very often use to get the rainfall data, which is called as a India Water Portal. And previously, I have downloaded for several cities in India for several time period. But now the portal is locked, or we can say that is under the process. Just I go to the portal and I will tell you. So just I go to the India Water Portal. So there you can see home articles and other informations are there. Among that, the data. In the data, when I see the metadata, it also available with the state of sanitation data finder is there. I click on the metadata. Here they are providing the metadata in the format of CSV file, and here they have mentioned we are currently cleaning the data sets. We will publish them shortly. We will wait for some time. If they have published, the data is really good for us. See here they are saying meteorological data sets for 13 climate parameters for all districts of India from 1901 to 2002, right? So it is almost 100 years, right? So this is highly recommended data when you want to use for the climate analysis, right? So we will wait, and soon they may upload it and you can download and use it. I have used this data previously. Even I have downloaded the data and I am keeping as a backup in my computer. And the next one is the Bhuvan portal, like our Indian portal, where you can get satellite images of our own country. I go to the Bhuvan. I go to Bhuvan. In Bhuvan, like there are lots of portals are there. Among one is Open Data Archive, using which you can download the satellite imageries or elevation model of, like we use Cartosat. So here we have the sensor, have the theme or product. In here you can see whether you need OceanSat or ResourceSat or Cartosat, anything you want, you can select it and you can download it. Then I use Earth Explorer, which is one of the portal from where you can download the satellite imagery, like Bhuvan. And this is another portal, which is the Copernicus, and this is the satellite imagery provided by European space agencies, right? Here you can go and download the Sentinel information, like one of the free high spatial resolution satellite imageries. So when you want the high spatial resolution imagery for free of cost, and the only data is Copernicus Sentinel data, you can go and download it in their portal. Okay, this is the thing I want to discuss with you people today. Like if you want to ask anything from me, you can raise your question. If I know it, I can help you, or I can show you the way from where you can get the data. Yes.
Sir, where can we get the like information about, for example, geothermal sites or such data? Can we get from online?
Geothermal. You just check in these Bucos.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Can we
So,
get bathymetry map also?
Yes. You can get it bathymetry. You can get it in Bucos. You just try it, because the data which are available in the Bucos may not be for all the places. You just try in Bucos. For most of the places it is available. If it is not there, are you studying in Sardar Sah's college?
Yes, actually, we will discuss later on.
Yeah, no problem.
Because your time is precious today.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So we will have a separate discussion.
Yes. So no problem.
Yeah.
Like if you cannot get the data, no problem. You just can.
We will search, and if there is any technical assistance is required, we will have meeting.
Is there anyone have any other questions? Okay, could you show 14th slide? What is that 14th slide? Yes, this 14th slide. This 14th slide is Earth Explorer. Okay, this is one of the portal of this United States Geological Survey. They are providing the satellite imagery which is available worldwide for free of cost, which starts from Aster or SRTM or Landsat. All these informations are here, right? See here which data you want and which year you want. Everything is possible. Like we have to select. For example, I say that I need for Ratnagiri or Mumbai. Like I say here, I want to pick it from here. Use now. Right, this is the place. For this place, I need it. Right. Then I say the data, what data I need. We will search it from October 1st to today. Then we will go to data. So what data you need, whether you need this aerial imagery may not be available for India. So just I will say that I need Landsat data. Here I can show Landsat legacy. So for which year you want, I am interested on 1984. So I can use this TM mosaic. Then I can say save result. No data are found here. That means no imagery plan to this area is available in this area. Then I go with like you can change it and see, like I will go with 4 or 5 satellite imageries. Then I can say result. None of the imageries are available. Okay, only few, right. Here the search here I have given only for 1 month, right? Then I will go with 2002. Okay. See, the image is available for this. You can download it from here. Okay, is there any other question? Thank you, put you so for it. I have done it. Can we get names of bathing material? Yes, it is. Boogas, it is available. You can get it. You can check it. Okay. Is there any other doubt you want? Okay. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So whatever I have discussed with you is very small part of the sources which is available. There are thousands of sources are there. Once you Google it or if you start to search yourself, you can find out lots of ways to get it. Is there any other question? Okay, Sardar sir, thank you so much for inviting me for this presentation, and thanks a lot, and thank you to your department as well as bye for all the participants here.
Malingam, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. I can say that I have no words to express my gratitude. You stopped me in between while introducing to you. Dear participants, Dr. Mahalingam is dedicated and committed personality. He is a very dynamic person. He is a man of technology. Whenever you require any help, you may contact to him, and he is very much helpful. Today, I can't say, but he was in the situation that he may not be take the lecture, but even because of the commitment, he take the lecture, and this is the greatness of his dedication and commitment. In real sense, dear friend, I have no words to express my gratitude, but even though I express my sincere thanks to you from all the organizing institutions, all the collaborating institutions for sharing your precious time and enlightening all the participants that how to acquire the data in these days of technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.